Hi everybody, this is Barry Schwartz. This is the Search Buzz video recap. Today is November 4th, Friday, and this is the news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable over the past week. It's been a very long week. I'm on the East Coast, New York, and I pretty much didn't have power for almost 5 days because of all the snowstorms, so I'm a bit tired even today. But anyway, let's go through the news and we'll get through it. The first major thing was announced yesterday was that Google has updated their search algorithm to be fresher, and they call that more relevant. They announced that this is obviously, they had the caffeine update about a year ago, which is basically about crawling and indexing and finding content faster and in a much faster pace. And now the search algorithm is actually just something that returns results that are actually fresher in nature. Google says this is more relevant, specifically for recent events or hot topics. Regularly occurring events like certain types of annual conferences and stuff, or elections and stuff like that, and also frequent updates like things like for like camera reviews and stuff like that are frequently updated. They want those results to be fresher. Initially, they posted in their blog post that this impacts about 35% of all searches done on Google, which is tremendous if you think about it, because Panda algorithm impacted about 12% of searches. But then Google said, no, it's not. It's 35% of all searches in a total, but the change between what was yesterday versus what is today is only a 17.5% change, which is still huge. It's still over 12%, which is still pretty huge. So we'll see how this plays. It's still early to tell right now in terms of ranking loss for different sites and stuff like that. But many aren't really so happy about it. Some are, but depends, I guess, if you have a fresh content site or not. We had a post also this week, this was on November 1st, where people were asking, are these minor Panda updates, the 2.5x, 1, 2, 3, these little minor Panda updates, more Vince-like, Google Vince-like, the Google Vince update from a while back, as opposed to Panda-like, because Panda was more about demoting sites, whereas Vince was more about promoting sites, brands, and stuff like that. And it seems like the recent Panda updates, the little minor ones, were more about promoting types of sites as opposed to demoting types of sites. Again, whatever you call it, Google's definitely calling these updates minor Panda updates, but that's something to note. Another major thing that happened this week was that Google announced they are now indexing Ajax content via post request. So things like somebody posted that Google's indexing Facebook comments from blogs that had Facebook comments on it, and that's pure Ajax and stuff. Google's able to index that, and it's true. Google is now able to index that. Matt Cutts confirmed it a couple days ago. Then they did a blog post on the Google blog confirming it, and they're saying they're now able to not just use GET requests, but actually do post requests, which are more of the newer HTML, JavaScript, Ajax types of stuff. That being said, this allows Google to actually index comments from Facebook or from Discuss and stuff like that. So it gives Google better abilities to actually find more content on the web. Google announced, I guess a week ago or so, that they are going ahead and switching over the people who are logged in to SSL search, which people were upset about because obviously when you switch over to SSL search, most of the time you're not able to go ahead and pass the keyword refer because it drops it off with the SSL passover. When you go from SSL to HTTPS to not HTTP, it drops off the query referral, I guess for privacy reasons. That being said, Google promised us, or said basically it would impact less than 10% of, it'll be single digit impacts because only, I guess, single digit people are actually logged in, which seems pretty low. But Sear Interactive did a report where 37 sites, 16 of them had over 10% of organic search results come from the keyword not provided, meaning people who are logged in. And now, actually, one of those sites was actually 21% above. Search Engine Land had a report, again, this is on November 2nd, and November 3rd it actually went up again, that it was between 7 and 14%. I did look at Search Engine Roundtable, it was about 15%, and then I looked at November 3rd, it was actually 20%, which is pretty significant. Again, obviously people who are going to my site is probably more likely to be logged into Google, but on the Rusty Brick site it was more like 10%, so I'm not even sure what it is today, but supposedly it keeps going up. I think it's starting to level off today, but it seems higher than what Google has suggested. Google is now officially placing the ads, the AdWords ads on the bottom of the search results. Sometimes, either it's always on the top, sometimes always on the top, on the right, and if it's not on the right, it's going to be on the bottom. So you have it on the right or the bottom, but not both the right and the bottom. Part of that, people are starting to take note that the search box on the bottom has been removed. I think it was removed since Google Instant from my notes, but it's possible they had it back and then removed it again, so I'm not sure. I posted about that this morning. Google's Matt Cutts did a very around a 9-minute video on cloaking alone. The main points of his video was that cloaking is showing different content to users than it's showing to Googlebot. Cloaking is a violation of their guidelines. Cloaking is very high risk. It is often used for deceptive reasons, so they have a no tolerance policy on that. There's no such thing as white hat cloaking. It is okay to do geolocation or mobile targeting. That's fine. That's not considered cloaking as long as you serve Googlebot the same thing that you would serve a regular user. Google's Matt Cutts also said that Expert Exchange was one of the most blocked sites using the Google Block Sites tool. He said in a Hacker News post or thread, one of the signals that we've said that we use in Panda algorithm that launched in April is how many users blocked a particular site. And this is a response to somebody talking about how Experts Exchange is actually no longer ranking that well since the Panda update. So it kind of implies that Google admitted that Experts Exchange, which I personally dislike a lot, was one of the most blocked sites in Google. Also, this week, Google Maps released, is testing, I guess, gray pins as opposed to red pins, as well as a horizontal map in the search results. I posted a video from Wisdom, and you can take a look at that on October 31st. Do a search for do a barrel roll on Google, do a barrel on Google, and the whole page will twist like a barrel roll. It's pretty cool. They did this before with an Easter egg with Google, with just Googling the word tilt. But now you can also do a barrel roll, and it only works in modern browsers. So it requires like HTML5 and CSS3. But definitely take a look at that. It's fun. And I'll go ahead and share with you the Halloween logos from this week. It was obviously Halloween, October 31st, Monday night. Google had a very interactive logo. They actually carved out thousands and thousands of pounds of pumpkins to make their logo. Bing had a very cool video logo. Yahoo also had a pretty cool animated logo. Ask.com, Dogpile. The forums had pretty cool stuff going on, and we also had a little theme going on. All right, so that pretty much recaps the Search Buzz video recap. Thanks again for listening in, and we'll see you next week. Today is November 4th. Everyone have a great weekend, and I'll be at PubCon next week, so hope to see you there. Bye.